And welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL ESEA Pro League. We're getting ready to go with our second out of 4 matches this evening. It's going to be between Threes Up and compLexity. Two teams which, of course, have been kind of floating at the sort of mid-tier of North America recently. My name is Blue. Joining me this evening is Moses. So heading into this match, Moses, what are your general thoughts?
I want to see Davey have a big game. He's someone that I think individually is really talented and could become a really solid player in North America, you know, if he keeps improving. So I want to see him have a good game. Interested to see how Roka's going to start fitting into this squad, because this compLexity squad just strikes me as just winning based off talent. You know, I don't think they're going to do anything tactically that's going to outplay anyone. I think they're just going to be all about outskilling people. So I'm really interested to see how Roka's going to do in that situation.
And we are going to go live into the knife round, of course, so we'll see who gets the side. It'll be on Mirage, which for North America and in general tends to be a fairly CT-sided map, so definitely going to be, like Train, another map that you really want to try to win that knife round in order to get the side start advantage here. And it looks like Threes Up are going to take it with no trouble whatsoever there. They keep 4 alive at the end of that, so not much luck from compLexity there on coming out on top of that one. So they'll get their start on CT, and we'll see where things go from there.
Yeah, it should go well for him. At CT side, we've seen huge halves out of the defense on Mirage, so this should be, I mean, if they can get out to a good start, you know, not even just winning the pistol round, but, you know, continue it there, keep up building up the smokes and the Molotovs and everything like that, they should be all set. They have a lot of talent on this team. Arya with the AWP has hugely impactful matches, not as consistent as we'd like to see, but there are times where he just goes nuts. So, I mean, him being in middle with an AWP could have a huge impact.
And to start it off on the pistol round, once again, most of compLexity working their way back over here, trying to get themselves over towards the A-bomb site. 3 players inside of Palace. The other 2 will work their way up from T-ramp, so a fairly typical take. A little bit excessive, of course, on the Palace route, but Arya catching one on the way down midair there. Able to pick up a headshot over onto Semphis, the rest on their way in, but very quickly dispatching them. Roka picking up the only 2 kills so far for compLexity, but they're 2 very big kills. The smoke blocking off a lot of the other entry points here, and Davey might try to push his way in, but not really with a whole lot of intel as of yet. We might be able to see compLexity sneak through with the plan, and that's exactly what's going to happen as the smoke start to fade. Sags moving through, gets a nice little one-tap there to take down Abe, and now the CT avenue is clear, but he's still a little bit worrisome of this, so we've got Kiko along with Davey push their way back in here. Roka getting dinked down to just 1 HP, but Davey finding the kill over onto Sanks. Roka gets the response though, and he's going to pick up the final 1-2 over onto Davey. A huge round from him, a 4K for Roka, and compLexity pick up the pistol round on T-side.
Yeah, I mean, he answers my question just right off the bat with a 4 kill. So nicely done by Roka. I wanted to point this out. I mean, that was just typical A execute, throwing smokes over towards jungle and towards the top of stairs and CT spawn and everything. But Arya is one of those players in the Pro League who has, like, this knack. He's always been, like, he's had this uncanny ability to just, like, get kills through smokes. He just, like, he has that timing in his head down, like, really, really well. So I expect to see a lot of that. Once the guns come out, once he has an AWP, like, don't be surprised if he's just dropping bombs through smokes.
And the nade's going to come out here from Kiko to start it off, too, as he goes for the jumping peaks here with his USP to see if he can find anything. He does do a nice bit of damage on his Semphis and Valens there, but not enough in order to take either of the 2 down. And Davey, I think, doing a little bit of damage to his teammate there on accident as he brings Kiko down. Valens will come in now to finish him off, but Jason R lining up the Deagle shot, able to take out Roka, but that's all they're going to be able to get, as Sanks, along with Automatic, will be cleaning up 3 more players directly after that. And it'll just leave Jason R as the final player left alive, sitting inside of Market right now. The 3 left from compLexity, slowly surrounding him. And we'll see how well he holds this, but this should easily be a round that goes into the hands of compLexity. However, now he picks up 1, but quickly shut down by Automatic after that one, and that will be the 2nd point on the board for compLexity.
That's actually a big 3rd kill to get, because 3Sub didn't invest in armor. They only had upgraded pistols, and to get 3 kills out of that situation, that's a peak that Sanks with his teammate flanking should not have made. So he gives 1 up there at the end, and that does some pretty decent damage to the money of compLexity. So really well done eco stack by 3Sub. Or they come in on the rotations. There was enough delay to turn that into, you know, a really big 4-on-4 situation there as the eco hit came in.
And from Threes Up this time, it looks like they've gone for the sort of gambit stack, as it were, over here onto the A site. 3 players behind Ticket Booth, lined up with nades, ready to toss those out too. And for the time being, unless we see Valen spot it first, they're not going to catch this, and they're sort of going to go right into the trap. So this should be an interesting round to see how it goes. And Arya actually going to pick up the 1st kill. And we now have to see Valens go for the redirect. Sanks, though, getting another response kill to take down Arya. Jumping through. Abe holds strong back over here and finds another shot for himself. But beyond that, compLexity seem to be handling this very well. Roka picking up 1, 2, and 3 now outside of the Palace entryway, cleaning things up for those players and picking up the 3rd round without too much extra trouble.
Now going into the bye round, They actually have the money to drop an AWP over towards Arya if they choose to. He can even go Glass Cannon if he likes, but nope, they're going to go for the all M4, so they're going to have the armor, and they actually have a lot of utility behind this. Full nade sets basically for everyone, only 2 kits, but doesn't really matter. They can delay, they can smoke off these choke points for the beginning stages of the round and get themselves set up in some nice crossfires.
And for compLexity, again, going for a little bit of mid control, or at least they might do it here. It's automatic, and Semphis will be the ones to line that up. Sanks will be back over here watching to see and make sure that nobody from 3's up gets too aggressive onto them and pushing into them, but for the time being, compLexity just sitting back and waiting to see if there's going to be any of that blind aggression that goes against them and biding time. So they'll sit back, they'll take their nice solid time, and here's Arya, of course, with that little bit of aggression that we were hoping to see from them. He jumps out, not going to be able to win the duel versus Arya, unfortunately, and we are going to see Sanks taking down Arya, as I think I said that incorrectly, but now 3's up again, down a player at this point, and compLexity still taking their jolly old time. 3's up with not a whole lot of info. They're now going to solidify themselves back over here towards T-spawn, and I do believe they'll make the push towards A at the end of the day.
Yeah, not really dedicated. I mean, they have that man advantage now, so they can just slow things down, and you look at what it's done to the rotations. They just put a little bit of pressure onto B, and just that little bit of application, you know, of presence over there has forced 3 members. You know, one's in window room, one's in connector, and 2 players in B. The A site is completely open, and they're all going to be smoked out when this hit comes in, so unless they get some lucky kills through the smoke, they're just going to be forced to a save automatically.
And the rest of compLexity here now, tossing up the smokes, they're going to go for this take, and as you said, still nobody really proficiently moving over towards that site yet. Finally, they've got Jason R on the way in, but they're already funneling into this site, and there's no one to resist it really on the way in. Phelan's already taking out one player, he's going to be able to find Davey, and that's not even happening on the site, that's over towards mid. Jason R picks up one, but he's going to get completely flashed, and Roka is able to push up in order to find that kill over onto him. Abe picks up one, but Roka again, still holding strong, and Abe too getting another piece of the action for 3's up. He takes down automatic, now in a 1-on-2 scenario, but as he works his way in, he's got to deal with a dual cross angle if he does decide to go for this, so it's going to be much better, in my opinion, for him to evacuate out of here, and he's looking for that path outside of the site now. I think he should be able to find it here, as Semphis did not want to take a chance on directly peeking him, so he's going to be able to escape, and I don't think anybody will chase him in time unless he directly challenges their exits.
Yeah, a big misread in the mid round there from 3-sup, and they're completely out of position, so compLexity basically gets a free one. You know, Abe makes a little bit of a bid for it at the end, but just not enough time to clear everything out, so he's going to save that gun. So that's a nice, at least a salvaged equipment going forward, but Semphis with that AWP, we can't forget, he doesn't have a kill in this match quite yet. He's at 0-2, but it was just last season where he actually topped the leaderboard of Pro League in North America primarily by opping. So he's kind of transitioned into that role, and he's done it very effectively.
And he will be using that in this round, of course, now with the guns going back into the hands of the compLexity players once more here, going for the battle, but still with plenty of money left in excess, of course, now having that huge lead against them. 3's up, though, having to go back onto an eco for themselves. They're going to be really having too much in this round, with the exception of Abe's M4 that he managed to save for the previous one, and absolutely, like, zero utility beyond Abe here, too, so there should be pretty much a run around for compLexity, barring any trouble.
Yeah, no commit what's compLexity. Just they're actually up and finding these B halls right now, and full mid control to 3-sup. But actually, I mean, they get started out here, that would be dangerous. But now all of compLexity jumps for the B halls, all 4 of them, and rushes over towards the A bomb site.
Now they're going to work their way in here. Abe finding the first kill. He's going to be able to take down automatic on the way in. And the rest of compLexity should follow shortly after that. Apologies. And they're going to work their way in here too, slowly, very, very slowly indeed. They pick up one, Vans responded to that one. Saint's actually going to be the one that picks up another one after this one, but Semphis moving in, looking for the chop on the J-Star. He's going to get it very, very close up. He's all on Kiko and Davies. Some nice kills have come out, and they prevented the play just as yet. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be trying a different way to talk, because I think our mumble has been having a couple problems here. So, compLexity, of course, coming out of that round without too much trouble. We did see the 2 kills going over in their direction, and they actually managed to bring compLexity down to just 1 player there, too, after I got back into the game to notice that. So, not too bad of a round economically speaking, but overall it's the T side, and it's a lot more forgiving economically wise, so not going to be too huge of a victory at the end of the day.
Yeah, sorry about the robots there. I actually didn't get to witness that round. I was alt-tab trying to change over to the voice. So 5-0 for compLexity now. And this is just going to be, this is right out of spawn. The call is an A hit. They're lined up for the smokes, and Semphis, he spots Abe at the top of the stairs, doesn't hit that shot, but now he's just lining up for a peek from window room, and here comes the execution.
Arya once again getting that flash out and even spotting a player up on plat. He's going to get that one essentially for free, able to take down Roka. Arya looking for a second one, and he'll get it. Such a slow response from Sanks, but now he's going to come out in a big way. He's going to be able to take down both Arya along with Abe in the process and still keep threes up in the advantage position now with 3-on-2, but compLexity, also with this smoke, do get a little bit more room to wiggle here and get themselves onto the site, hopefully getting that plant too. As we see the rest, all 3 players from threes up trying to work their way in from connector or jungle, so it is limiting their potential a little bit here, but compLexity also still a little bit hesitant on actually going for that too. They've wasted the smoke opportunity, and now the bomb is still not planted here, but Sanks finally presses forward, is able to pick up that kill over onto Kiko, and now you've got Davey and Jason R splitting themselves up a little bit more, but Semphis waiting for that opportunity to find the op shot onto Jason. He's going to grab it, and it'll be Davey in a 1-on-2.
Yeah, and he's gotten that first kill onto Sanks, but now Semphis knows exactly where he is. 20 seconds left, and with the CWP, Semphis has a little bit of time to work with the bombs out in the open. So Semphis at a certain point is going to have to salvage that and get into the site. Davey's going to know exactly where he is. He has a lot of advantages so far. Semphis not prepared for him to come to the top of the stairs, and Davey's going to win that one. It's a crucial fight to win as well. He does salvage the op for Arya, and that's the first round for a 3-sub.
Now it's all going to be about building upon this, of course, because still a lot of losses going against their direction, reduced down to just a single player to clutch that one out. So the big buy is coming out from these players, and if they lose this one immediately after, their economy is going to be reset, and they won't have the loss bonus enough here in order to buy up once again. So they absolutely have to make sure that they win this round out too, otherwise compLexity is not only going to run away with a 6-point, but potentially a 7th and an 8th too if threes up have to double save.
Yeah, that would be crushing, but actually, I mean, here's more mid-presence from 3-sub. They push up, they get aggressive, the trades all go in the way of compLexity until Arya chimes in, but he's caught out in the open, and Arya just executes him, and now Valens is going to do a fancy jump. He's got the bomb, so he can't lose this, but luckily, the defenders are both completely split up. Abe makes a smart move, pushes himself into Palace, so he's got at least a little bit of cover, a chance to catch some players off guard. But Kiko, these players, they're not doing anything as a team now. They can't, based on the positioning. They have to just play for themselves, see what they can find. Kiko's going to swing out. He sees a smoke coming. I don't think Semphis or Automatic spotted him. So he's got a great chance here to ninja some kills, and there it is. He sprays one down. He finally gets the kill, but it took a little bit too long. He gets traded immediately, but that allows Abe to get in position.
And I think Abe might have just spotted Automatic there too as he was moving away, so I think he's got the intel that it's going over towards the B site, so a good catch by him just as he was retreating. And a little bit unfortunate there too on the second to last player alive from threes up that he waited just a little bit longer, might have been able to pick up a second kill, but it doesn't pan out so well. But Abe thankfully is here just in time. A flash comes out, completely blinds Automatic, but another one coming out here too will connect back over onto Abe as he creeps his way up, looking for the kill on the Valence. He's going to find it on an off angle, but not enough there actually to fully kill him as of yet, so he's going to get another opportunity to swing back out from the other side of the pole, and he not only survives, but kills Abe in the process of that. So compLexity taking that round right away from the hands of threes up, and as we had talked about before, they're going to get put into a situation where, unfortunately, they won't really be able to go for too big of a buy.
Yeah, and this couldn't have gone worse for 3-sub, really, at 5-0 to win one and then immediately get reset. I mean, now this half is just spiraling completely out of control. And even next round, they're going to be forced, basically, to buy because they have to start putting rounds on the board on a CT-sided map to already be down 6-7 rounds in. That's just brutal. And they're going to be light on economy, so compLexity, you can see Semphis sees the offer, he picks up an SMG just to get that bonus money, just to do a little bit of farming. And they're just going to build up more bank this round.
Kiko getting a little bit of resistance over here from the apartments, is able to do some damage, but gets forced back. Davey, though, gets the bomb over here inside of the ladder. Met a second one in order to take down Automatic. Sanks did trade out a kill, as did Semphis, but Davey, what the heck is Sanks doing? Not looking over there towards him. He's going to get a free kill there in Davey's hand. Sanks down. Semphis falls as well, and now Roka's going to have to be the last player left alive, trying to clutch this out on a 1-on-2. But Roka once again here now. Still a little bit limited, not having any access to the bomb. All three's about to do is just sit here and wait because he has to pressure them. And overall, he doesn't have a whole lot to do this with. A nice amount of utility stacked up in 50 seconds, so he's got all the time, but it's just such a narrow angle to work for, and yet the odds were definitely stacked against him there. So Davey's going to finish that up. A monster round for him coming off, starting off with the Deagle, picking up 2 kills there, and then arming himself with the AK, finding another one for free, unfortunately, as that compLexity member was not ready for him at all, and then picking up the final kill, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Big-time plays from Davey there to keep him even in the match whatsoever, because now it just swings the opposite way. Now it's compLexity that has to just go with upgraded pistols if they choose to, because their economy is so low. So, I mean, Davey just brings them from basically a lost map almost to now they're right back in it. And, I mean, that Sanks situation where he just comes up catwalk with his back turned, there was a good crossfire setup. Davey was in window room, and I believe that was Abe with the 5-7, Abe or Arya in middle. So no matter which way he looked, he was going to be getting shot in the back.
compLexity once again testing the water to this point, but definitely leaning towards an A hit as far as the push is concerned here from these players. They're going to keep automatic back over here on top middle just in case there is going to be that extra aggression, but it isn't really going to end up panning out. And Ari as well here, already connecting a shot with Yacht, going to be able to take down Valens, and with those nades that were tossed in there too, Sanks has been brought down extremely low, down to just 34 HP. He tries to just jump out there and get some intel, but he's punished for that by Abe after he goes for a blind pop shot, and they're able to get that timing over onto him to take him down. Abe finds yet another one here too from the threes up side of things, and Jason R. Oh my goodness, that rotating kill there from Jason R. Cleans up Roka, and then immediately after that, Davey gets the final one. Threes up finally on the treadmill a little bit here as they sit 3-6 against compLexity.
Yeah, and they needed to win that one without taking any deaths, because now they have some money built up. So even if members fall, as long as they don't lose it, I mean, they could still rebuy some weaponry. So that now they've got a little bit of bank to build up. They can buy the Molotovs and still breathe easy knowing they have money behind it. So this is going to be, I mean, going forward, there's no op on Semphis this time, so it's going to have to be automatic. Roka, these guys need to find entries for compLexity.
And as they work their way in through the apartments now, getting ready to find their way into the B site for the time being, but could very well change it up at a moment's notice, going in through underpass and then working it into a mid to A take instead. Frees up only having one player on the site, and he hasn't spotted anything yet, but they're going to push right into his face. He can't get anything, so Valens, he's going to find the opening kill here for compLexity. More resistance comes over on the catwalk, though, but they're going to be able to handle that as well. Finally, Jason R. will be able to finish off Valens as a result of that earlier duel from Kiko, who is sitting back over there outside of the apartments, but nothing else really being gained as Jeff frees up. They brought a lot of the players from compLexity low, but not enough to get any kills just as of yet. However, Jason R. pushing forward, catches Semphis mid-reload, but Semphis thankfully sitting behind the bench, keeps himself alive for now. Ooh, and a very close duel for Semphis allows him to pick up the headshot kill on a Jason R. An automatic with a flank finishes off Ari to once again put things back into the control of compLexity. Now 7-3, and 3 is up, once again having their money reset. But as you mentioned before, thankfully stacking up a little bit there at least, so they will be able to rebuy once more.
Yeah, and that was a really well done by compLexity. They take that bomb site very quickly, and they just slow things down. There's so much time left in the round. They play it patient. They know there's going to have to be some peaks from 3-sub to try and get intel, to try and equalize the player counts, and they just punish them for it. So that even allows the flank to come to fruition on top of that. So really well done from compLexity once they took that bomb site.
Now compLexity working over here again, lining themselves up for that A take here. Not a whole lot of resistance from 3-sub initially speaking coming off of this one. They're going to be already moving Jason R over here towards the B side, expecting the push to be coming in from there. R as well with a very, very close angle watch over here on the T ramp. He's going to be able to call that, but he's only spotted one player. He sees more coming in now, though. And not only this, but he is going to be able to take down Roka in the process. This will hold compLexity back for a little bit, but still not moving anybody over just yet. Now they catch that fallback here, and 3-sub should be a little bit more solidified on their current angles. They'll rotate. I believe Jason R is going to put himself over here into the window room just to be safe in case they go back over towards middle, but for the most part, I think they've got a pretty good grasp on what's currently happening. And Kiko is going to try to take advantage of this as he pushes the back B alley right now. Gets himself into a duel with automatic, and he also wins that too.
Yeah, and this is brutal. Now in a 3-on-5, this is normally the situation in this half that compLexity has been in with you know, man up or 2 men up. Now, unfortunately, they're on the losing end of it. And once again, confined. They really don't have any kind of map control over towards A, so they can't circle around to the other bomb site. They're just forced to try and, you know, body their way into this B bomb site, but they don't know. Kiko is pushed up in these halls. He's got a good angle. Sanks is going to clear things out. They're being very cautious. But are they going to be prepared for it? They come around the corner. Kiko spots him first, and he sprays down 2. Huge play from him, and now it's a 5-on-1. Semphis stuck in middle behind the boxes. Only 15 seconds is left. He's going to get a pick, but all he can do is try and save this gun. But they're not going to let him do it. Davey pushes catwalk and cleans him out, and that's a crucial kill to have.
What a stellar round from 3s up there too. compLexity unfortunately limiting their options after the initial push attempt failed, and not really wanting to commit to any sort of take there on either of the sites led to a very predictable rotation. 3s up just reacted to that nice and easily and found so many free kills from there that it just shut things down on compLexity's end from that point forward. So this is going to put compLexity into another eco round, I should say, as they're going to be not really having too much on this one. Only one player has actually bought up armor, and that's Semphis. The rest of them are sitting down with maybe a Deagle by a P250 here and there and a couple flashbangs, and they've already used those on their way into the B site here, so expect this to be an easy round for 3-sub. However, Automatic is going to open it up there, taking out Abe. Kiko responds, finds out Valens, but Automatic finding a second one here too, and he actually picks up 3 right there, and now as Jason R moves in, he's going to have to try to close things out, but Roka with the Deagle there is going to be able to find another shot on the Jason R, and all of a sudden, 3-sub are very much so in the disadvantaged position as far as this round is concerned. Ari, though, with a good flank going against Sanks, might just be able to sneak this, but I do believe Sanks knows what's happening here, and in just a second, we'll have an opportunity to take the headshot, but he spots him a little bit earlier. That Molly goes out, going to try to force the reposition, but SSJ Sanks is aware of this now, and he's going to move back over and send in the volley. Roka.
Oh, no. Oh, he doesn't have a kit.
No confuse kit. He's not gonna have enough time. This is gonna be so close. He might just sneak it, but I don't think it's gonna be happening. No, there's no way.
Yeah, it would have been an absolute miracle. He took so much time on the flank, and that's kind of what it was. Because once, as a defender or as a terrorist, when you have the bomb planted like that, and you haven't seen that last player, and the clock's starting to tick, and you still haven't seen him come anywhere in a 2-on-1, you got to check your flank. There's just that internal clock that's like, all right, based on rotations, he should have been here by now. He should have been catwalk. He should have been market. So they knew he was on the flank, and they don't fall prey to it. So. I mean, that round's won by automatic, basically. Just rushes up catwalk, gets a couple easy kills, and I believe he even dinked Jason R in the B bomb site, so he just completely decimates that defense all on his own.
And compLexity now actually, Roka opening it up, and Sanks too, finding those shots. Roka with a nice little one-tap there and a Kiko to take him down. Semp is on top mid with the op 2, taking out another one, and I don't know what happened this round, but Three's Up completely falling apart here, getting knocked out 4 players within the first maybe like 25% of this round's timer.
Yeah, and Abe just playing close to the stairwell. He's going to try and circle around him. He spots 2. They're not ready for him. But automatic doesn't drop. Abe tries to pre-fire, and he just gets cleaned out. So only 1 kill. Sanks falls. But another good round for compLexity. They're up 9-4 right now, and still, ThreeSup hasn't been able to stabilize this economy. Outside of, maybe 2 rounds right in the middle of this half is when they've been able to buy everything they wanted. But now you see Arya, he wants to have that op so bad. He's on glass cannon now. In the 4th round, we saw him switch over to the M4, or not switch over, but choose to go with the M4 and armor and nades. This time he just goes for glass cannon op because their defense has been shoddy. They've been getting beat up, so this is the switch. More mid-aggression out of them. They have an op behind it, and it's only going to be 1 player here in middle. That's going to be automatic just watching for this push.
Beyond that, of course, here too, taking a look and thinking sort of in the long game of how this is going to affect things. compLexity, keep in mind, they're now 9 rounds up, as you already mentioned, but this is on T side of Mirage, so already a big advantage, and Three's Up are going to have to rely on their own T side to swing things back, which again, for this map, isn't going to be the best situation in the world. Three's Up, though, will get an opportunity into this round. They push forward on the middle there, and that aggression will be rewarded. They find an opening kill to Semphis, but it does get traded out elsewhere, as Valens will be able to take down Abe, and now they're going to push in just 2 men so far, but more coming in from middle. Look at Valens pushing forward, gets 2. Automatic with the assist now coming in through connector there. He's actually going to be able to pick up the kill over onto Arya. And Sanks moving in. He'll get the plant here too. That nade is going to do so much. Actually doesn't end up doing that much over to Davey, but still dropping him to 72 at the very least is going to force him back. And they just took such swift control here. There's no room for Three's Up to retake this at all.
Yeah, not whatsoever. And this has kind of been the story of this half overall. So Davey forced to save his M4 at 4-9. It's going to be 4-10 going into the last round, and ThreeSup's not going to have a buy. They're just going to be beat up again on economy. They're going to have this M4. They might be able to force out a couple Thomases, but it's going to be mostly pistols and for ThreeSup. So this is looking to be just a dominant half from compLexity.
Davey actually does find an op here too, so that can get tossed back over to Arya, assuming he survives, which is looking likely. No one should be able to get in the way to challenge him in time, so he'll make it out with that, and that'll probably get tossed back over to Arya, so at the very least they'll have that, but as you said, nothing really else going into the hands of these players at this point, and Davey just waiting for him to toss that off if he doesn't keep it for himself, which it looks like he might, to be honest.
Yeah, that is a little curious. I mean, he's not bad with it. We've seen him use it. I've seen him use it in the past, and he's going to head up towards catwalk with it and maybe try and see if he can get a pick from mid, a different angle than maybe what automatic is used to. Automatic has an AWP of his own, so double op set up for the terror side. And once again, right out of spawn, this is that B hit call. So Kiko, he's only got a 5-7. He's got a lot of work to do, and outside of that op, it's all pistols for ThreeSup.
The off ends up getting traded out there too. Automatic picks up the AK at the end of the day, but I'm gonna move forward here. Already moving all the way through the apartments. Kiko holding that very strong angle for himself. He finds 2, and Roka moving forward. Davey coming in with the assist on the op. That offensive just gets completely stopped there. And now it's going to leave it down to Sanks and Automatic to try and make this take, but they've lost the bomb control here. Thankfully, Automatic finding another kill to act as the equalizer here to put this back into a 2-on-2 situation, but now the bomb is down. Three's Up are already in the correct spot, and this is going to have to be a blind take attempt from compLexity. Davey already killing Sanks inside of the apartments, and still looking at Automatic on the rotate, but he's at 19 HP anyway, so this should be a 5th point at the very least going onto the board for Three's Up. However, Automatic there bring Davey down very low indeed, and the smoke will come out to hold him back for a little bit longer. He's trying to push forward. He goes for the blind push, but Abe will end up closing it out after all.
That nade and spray almost works out for Automatic. He actually did something pretty clever. He buys an op, goes to take a mid-peek, shoots a shot, goes back to T-spawn, and picks up his AK once again. So that was a pretty cool use of economy in the last round. But either way, it's Davey who really saves his teammate up on that balcony after getting the initial 2 kills. So somehow ThreeSup, it's looking the least likely of all the rounds of that half, and they pull it out there at the end. So nicely done from them, but still 5-10 going into your T half on Mirage. That's tough. That's brutal, and complexity just stopped them.
Yep. So now switching the sides, as I had mentioned before, Threes Up are going to have to rely on, obviously, again, a very strong T side here. If you've had a lot of experience watching Threes Up on T side in the past, how do you feel that their T side is going to end up working out? Do you think that they have a little bit more prowess going into this one, or do you think that unfortunately it's not going to be as strong as generally it tends to go for most teams on this map?
Well, they've got to do better in the mid-round than they did in their CT half, because a lot of those calls on the CT side were just wrong. Some of the rotations they made were just misreads, and it obviously didn't pan out for them very well. So here in the Terrace half, they're going to have to do much, much better. They're doing pretty much the same pistol round as complexity, just lining up for a smoke take onto the bomb site, isolate the site players and the phone booth player, and just get in and plant that bomb.
And they're going to go once again over here from complexity, lining up a lot in middle, so they're going to have to rotate those players back in, but some of them on cat, so it will be a little bit of an extended rotation time here, and the smoke's in too. He's up a little bit confused as to why they've gotten the set control so easily, but it will be the 5-man retake strat here coming out for complexity, and they're going to waterfall themselves back in. 3 moving in from connector, and Roka too, looking to line up a shot on Arya back over here from ticket box approach, but not going to find it just yet. They take their time here, and again, only end up getting a 1-for-1 trade to start it off. A lot of the time has gone by. Valen's with the kid at the least, so they do have a little bit more of an extender to work with here, but they've got to go for this retake, and Threes Up. They know exactly what's happening here too, but Valen's might just be able to go in here and try to sneak this. He's got to find the bomb first though, and actually he can't find it, so he's going to fall there, and it looks like we should be seeing Threes Up pick up this pistol round.
Yeah, that could have worked so well for complexity, but Valens misses that smoke, so the bomb's still exposed. Even if he had been able to find it there, he would have been fully open to everyone. So a nice pistol round from Threes Up. What they did, they do that smoke strategy, but they double nade phone booth where Roko is playing. That forces him to be so passive. He eats a lot of damage basically for nothing before he even takes a shot. So he's forced far, far back. But complexity, much the same as Threes Up did in the first half, not investing into armor in this round, just using the upgraded pistols, see what damage they can do.
And the rest of Threes Up moving themselves back over again, and complexity are going to take the gambit play here, going all into the B side. Unfortunately, the roulette does not reward them in their favor here. Arya, as well, should be able to catch them earlier on if he chose to go for the site, but that won't be the case. He ends up moving himself way back over here towards the window room here now, and we'll try to see if he can catch anybody out there, or act as a sort of rotation stopper here if they try to go in through that little crawl space there in window room, but I think complexity know what is up here now. Threes Up, again, going for this site control very, very slowly. So complexity may actually be able to get themselves in the way before that plan happens, but now they know exactly what's happening here, too, as Davey pushes up. He gets into a little bit of a duel by the ticket box, but it will actually be Jason R. that finds a very, very long-range kill back over there through the mid-connector there and able to take somebody out from Cat. So again, not really looking like all that much from complexity can be gained. Like I said, they took the gamble on it being on the B side. It just doesn't pan out at all, so there's not really a whole lot they can do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they just fall away to save these pistols into the next round, and actually Davies chasing, and he could get cleaned up here, and he is by Valens. It's not a huge loss because he only got a MAC 10. And there's Abe. That's a Galil. They shouldn't lose that one. That would be a little bit unfortunate. 2 members, Sanks and Roka. They're going to get pushed on. Arya's about to turn the corner. He's going to drop Roka, not able to spot him, but there's one more player. Sanks up top, try to connect with the headshots, but he can't land it. Arya swings out and grabs it. So nicely done hunting those pistols down, even though it's not necessarily... You know, if you lose a rifle, we've seen it so many times. Losing one Galil, losing one AK-47 can just spell disaster going forward in the next round, but they do it really, really well there.
And they will only end up losing the 1 rifle, and Davey, of course, gets that back into his hands very quickly. Complexity does manage to save the Deagle, but as you mentioned before, those pistols aren't going to be super duper impactful, as we'll still be looking at a complete save here for Complexity, with only being the 3rd round, not being able to pick anything else up yet. And it looks like they're going to try to go for the same thing again here, a 4-stack on the B site, trying to resist a push from there, but Threes Up are just keeping it simple here, going again for pretty much the same strat they did last time, and probably going to get A-site control for free, so looking at 8-10 here in just a few short minutes, unless complexity rotated a lot sooner, which they will actually do, so again, keep in mind how slowly Threes Up took A-site control before, so they can actually get into a position before they push in, I imagine.
Yeah, but Arya hears all this. Arya has that advanced position, and he's going to hear them rotating, so he's called it out. Valens goes down on the site for free, and now it's just going to be a fight, a long-range duel with these pistols against the rifles of Threes Up. That's not going to go well for complexity. Arya even cleaning one up in mid. He's flanking around CT spawn. He's hungry for some eco frags. He's going to get a second one. Roka's still there. He's going to spam the smoke. Brings Roka down low, but actually doesn't clean him off. And look at automatic with the deagle grabs, too. This has turned so costly. Now Roka, he could just save this AK-47, and that's a huge find for them.
Inbound's not going to go where it needs to, and as you said, he'll be saving that one. Looks like nobody else is going to attempt to scout him out here either. Abe's a little bit too low to do that. Would be a very risky push from him. And Kiko just going to chill and sandwich, making sure that there's no attempt on the retake from the ticket booth. But of course, nothing is going to be had here. Roka, as you said, is very much so happy with picking up the AK there and getting those kills stolen away from the hands of threes up, mainly off the hands of Automatic, but he picks up one for himself here too at a heavy cost, bringing him down to 7 HP, but now safely inside of the kitchen. He'll be alright to take that one to the next round, and that will be a free rifle in their hands, saving them a whole lot of cash here in the first buy round.
Yeah, that's massive. And Sepis even grabs an AWP with nades and with armor as well, so that's a good buy from him. And this is scary. We don't see an AWP out yet for 3-Sep side. They have the 5 AK-47 strategy, and still in spawn. They're going to be, looks like they're lining up for a smoke over towards the window room. So Sepis is going to be blocked off. It's actually not for window. Actually, it is. It lands late, but there is one at the end of Cat, and he spots him. Spots Arya just as he comes through right before the smoke plumes. That's a good find from Sepis. Smart play from him. And this is much like the anti-eco rounds. 4 just waiting at the A ramp with Arya trying to creep up middle for free, and he gets punished for it.
And I think compLexity have managed to catch on to this now because you've already got that rotation from Semphis moving over here to try and counter this one out, along with a couple other players being within very close proximity. Valen's just sitting in the site just outside of Connector, and Sanks too here sitting inside of the ladder, and they're waiting to see if there would be a push from middle onto Cat, and very much so ready to just roll right through the window room and get himself onto the A site if needed. So 3-Sep again will take their time with this one, now losing a player, not really having a whole lot of intel as to what exactly is going on with that site, but they'll go for it right on time at the 1-minute marker here as they push themselves directly in, trying to see if they can pick anything up, but overall it's still slow, and it's being restricted here by the nades coming out for compLexity, and Roka's ready for this. Jason R did pick up 1 and 2 now, but Roka and Valens get an even trade at the end of the day, and with that loss accounted for earlier, we're still looking at compLexity being a man up at this point, and 3-Sep still with no site control either. It's going to have to be an A, but Abe finds himself way out in the open with no target, and Automatic too, rotating in, is able to catch Jason R from the ticket box approach. compLexity clean it up nice and easily there after losing the 2 initial on the trade, and they'll pick up their 11th point here.
Yeah, and those trades actually, they did go in the favor of 3-Sep on that entrance into the bomb site, but because Semphis gets that pick early on in the round, it doesn't even matter. compLexity's still a man up, and they can play it much more patient. And once that hit started, I mean, once it was in a 2-on-3, that smoke fades, and the only play they can make is to get aggressive, try and catch someone off guard towards Connector or stairs, and it just doesn't work out for him. So, nicely done from compLexity, being patient, strong defense, and this, once again, looks much the same. Davey over towards B and mid, all on himself. 4 players immediately head over towards the A bomb site to wait for a timing.
And they're actually probably going to execute upon this a lot quicker this time. Valens will put himself up on top of the platform this time, waits for Jason R to roll in. Jason R is going to catch him, but not quickly enough, as Valens will spot his legs first on the way out. Roka picking up 1-2, and there's Valens with another pop. He picks up 1 more. Abe was able to get that response in order to kill him, but now Sanks jumping out of the window room very quickly will dispatch up Davey, and this push, again, really not going anywhere else as Automatic picks up that final kill.
Yeah, I mean, these tactics on T side of Mirage just don't work anymore. And you ask, were they going to be better on their terror side than they were on their CT side? And it's looking like that's not likely. You can't just go over towards the A bomb site and just sit and wait for executes in the professional division. You're going to get punished for it. You know, if not because they're so good at stalling out when these hits do come in, but also at some point compLexity is going to choose to get aggressive towards B or choose to get aggressive up mid, and if they find nothing, then it's just such a fast flank. So 3-Sep so far very creative in the terrorist half, and these gun rounds have all gone the way of compLexity so far.
And this is going to be a full save for 3-Sep as well. Pretty much everybody on Glocks. The only player that's even bought anything is going to be Davey with a P250. Beyond that, they've got nothing. It's an absolute save. And they're just trying to reset here and get themselves back into a position where they can get their full by rolling. Hopefully work it a little bit better. They're going to try pushing it over here towards the B site, but Automatic holds strong. He gets a 2-for-1 before getting trade out. Davey now with an AK in his hands, though, so the potential to maybe work a little bit more or something. And as he pushes up, he's not going to be able to trade out for Sanks, so Sanks will reclaim that AK. He also gets another kill there, too, on the bomb planter by taking down Abe. So at the very least, they sneak away with that bomb plant, which I think was the overall goal of this round, but nothing really else being gained beyond that.
Yeah, dude, Abe's a hero that round. He's a freaking champion. He just, that Molotov, he sees it on the ground and he just goes for the plant anyways, and it eventually spreads to him, and he's just praying he gets it off in time. And right before he dies, he gets it down. So that's huge. That extra $800 is going to go a long way. You know, that's an extra Molotov, an extra smoke. It's a lot of, I mean, this kit they have is basically dedicated to that plant. So despite the fact that they just got mowed down, Abe is a hero there.
So they're going to be able to grab that at the very least, and now they'll work themselves. Again, going back to just this A strat again here, compLexity not going to be able to catch anything just yet, but overall it's looking like that same strat, with the only exception being Davey working for mid control a little bit more actively here too, but it has drawn some attention from compLexity. We can see that Valence has been drawn over here a little bit too, and Threes up for fiddling a little bit, but that player from middle is now fallen back. He's going to regroup with the rest of the team on A, but I think the attention being drawn away from middle because there hasn't been a presence from middle yet is going to work out great. However, Roka, too, back over here by Firebox, the fact that they haven't tried to scout him out yet is going to be a pretty big deal if they just blindly push into the site and have nobody else checking, and that's exactly what looks like is going to happen here now.
Oh, Roka, he was loving it. He was so hungry, and he jumps and gives away his spot, but still delays it long enough. Now Call of compLexity is here. The smokes have faded, so there's nothing to stop from compLexity from just, taking pot shots into this bomb site. They can't plant the bomb. Davy's got to get aggressive. So does Arya. They pick off Sanks, who's completely blind, but still, 2 members in CT spawn. There's Sempus with the op, just raining death from afar. Bomb is down, can't be planted. Davy, though, still making some aggressive peeks, making a bid for it now, down to a 2-on-2.
And this is not over yet. 30 seconds left, but both players over here by ticket box ready to move in, and they still know that that bomb is on the ground here too. They are going to keep. Yep, they are going to keep him on Arya. I think Valens knows this is a possibility, but he's not ready for it though. When Arya comes out, he's actually going to pick up the headshot. He just checked that a few moments ago, but Automatic will get the trade. Now this has been reduced down to a 1-versus-1. Arya pushing and gets a spot over here on the Automatic, but now he's going to cross some more damage, brings Arya down to 35 HP, and Arya goes aggressive, but doesn't realize he's sitting over here on the triple stack, but he picks up the headshot anyway, takes out Automatic, and threes up, clutch it out.
Oh, I cannot believe that he pulls out that one-on-one. Automatic played that so well until just getting his face blown off. But either way, a nice flight from Arya. That's the only play they had. They had nothing to get that bomb planted if he doesn't make that play. And either way, with the clock dwindling, he gets a nice headshot to win it. Still, very costly round. He managed to salvage an AWP, but the rest of his team, I mean, AK-47s, you've got armor and you've got some nades, but still, losing this round, if they get reset again, much like they did in the first half, it's just all over, basically.
This is a big round indeed here. compLexity blooming themselves out a little bit more here. Sanks moving himself towards Cap, but unfortunately can't do the job that he initially wanted to do, as he is going to get smoked off by threes up as they go. Again, this hasn't been something we've seen them do too much as of yet. They're actually going to go for mid control. They've been very hesitant on playing towards that, just normally working for those default angles. So it's going to be a surprise now on Roka when Kiko pushes in through connector, and he'll basically get a free kill off of that, as Roka's going to get caught in the complete wrong position there. And now we can see on the site itself here too, Valens also stuck underneath the plat. If they just make a direct push over here, he's going to be extremely overexposed now by Kiko too, and they'll get into that duel. Can't find the shots there from Valens, so that'll be Kiko again picking up another kill. Davey also finding Sempus, so not a whole lot being gained by compLexity here. Finally, Sanks will be able to grab Kiko after he kind of ends his wrath there, but now Automatic will be the last player left alive. Goes into a little bit of a peek going, gets that nade out there, but it doesn't really do too much damage, and unfortunately with a 2-on-1, not a whole lot he could have done from that angle, and he had a flank coming his other direction anyway, so that'll be another round going by the way of threes up, and they keep it competitive here now at a 13-10 scoreline.
Yeah, and they actually change the pace really quickly, come down mid and get up connector and catch compLexity completely unawares. And Valen's hiding under the balcony or the porch. He hits the ladder as soon as he gets into a gunfight, so his aim gets all screwed up, and that's kind of why he's not able to even get one kill there. So an A take for threes-up is huge. It's now reset the economy. compLexity is completely depleted, and this is going to allow threes-up to close the gap on the scoreline just a little bit more. Still 13-10 for compLexity. But like you said, threes-up, it was unlikely at one point, but now they've made it competitive.
And for threes up again, lining themselves up. At this point, this is that very preserved sort of hold here from the T side. I think they're expecting compLexity to get a little aggressive here, as this is going to be an eco round for them, and we often see 3 to 4 CTs pushing up directly through middle there in order to get some, in order to find some surprise kills. But threes up are going to be waiting for this one. Overall, they won't be finding any of that from compLexity early on, but what they do find, of course, is a little bit of damage going over on the Davy. He's brought down to 61, but taking a look at Automatic now.
He was watching the European matches earlier. Snacks did that exact play with the pop flash and a Zeus. Blinded a player and just bull rushed down that lane to get a kill with the Zeus, but no one's there from threes-up, so Automatic doesn't get his highlight reel.
And Davey here too now, after hearing that flash, is going to look for Automatic, just sitting back over here. Automatic tries to win it and gets very close to doing so, but Davey with the superior weapon is going to end up coming out on top there. Kiko finding another shot there too in order to eliminate Roka. And now Valen's winning by sandwich. He's going to pick one up. Jason R a little bit slow on jumping onto him there, so Valens is going to be able to escape with one kill at least, but it will be quickly corrected. And now we're just looking at those 2 players left alive from compLexity, Sempus and Sanks. Not really going to competitively work for this retake, just looking for exits at this point.
Yeah, and they might not even find anything. Sempus is close up here in connector, but no one's coming that way. We do see Abe all off on his own, and this is kind of a pet peeve of mine. When you have the rifles against an eco and one player just goes off on his own, like, this is a gun you don't want to lose. You don't want to give him more money in this situation or a free rifle. And if Sanks catches him off guard, I mean, that would be a huge win for compLexity, about the only one they can get out of this round. But luckily, with the pistol, not great at that long range, but he still wins the fight. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's not a death that should be taken by threes-up. You know, this might not even have a huge impact on the match, but the fact is that it could. That's a free AK-47 now. That's big for compLexity.
And this goes right into the transition of a buy round, too, so it's going to leave Sanks with a lot of excess left in his bank. He's going to have to go for a very minimal buy-up here, and we can see that, unlike the rest of his team, who are pretty much emptied out here and would force him onto an eco next time, Sanks is sitting at 3.4k due to not having to go for his M4 buy here. But Threes Up also armed to the teeth at this point, too, so very impactful round indeed. If Threes Up are going to manage to pick up the 12th, not sure. I don't believe compLexity will be able to go for a really full and competent buy after this one, so this could potentially tie things up if Threes Up pick up this round.
Yeah, playing it very, very patiently. They're on a 3-round winning streak, so they're kind of waiting to see if compLexity is going to switch up the defense, maybe get aggressive up middle. Hasn't happened quite yet. 2 members just leave catwalk. They know one's in B tunnels thanks to the spamming. That's Davey. But still, 4 members of Threes Up over towards these B halls and towards mid. It's looking like it's going to be a delayed mid take, possibly a split onto that B bomb site with 2 coming up catwalk and 2 in the B halls.
Kiko once again here too, sneaking up over here through the palace at this point, going to try to see if he can cause a distraction here and avert the attention. And so far, assuming we see Threes Up making their way over here, but it actually is going to end up going towards the A site, so actually it won't even matter now as he's going to end up moving in. It's Semphis waiting for this push to come in, and he spots it early on, and Valens and Aroka sitting close on their positions. They wait for Kiko to pop out, and it pans out very well for them. Valens is rewarded with a kill going on to Kiko, and now Sanks in a great spot, gets the double spray down, looking for another to come in through the window as Ari's going to be jumping in, but he as well will also be able to catch Jason R in the process. Finally, Ari will shut him down, but now we're looking at a very, very limited Threes Up offensive here at this point, and still 3 left alive from compLexity. Automatic waiting for Ari to cross the threshold of the crawl space there, not going to catch him as he actually jumps over it, so Automatic won't be able to catch it there, but at the end of the day now Roka picking up the bomb carrier, Abe will fall down, and Ari unfortunately stuck inside of the window room, nowhere to run, only 10 seconds left. He's going to have to run away and save this op.
Yeah, Arya almost makes a good play and splits the defense a little bit, prevents the last rotator to come over to the A bomb site, but still, compLexity had such a good read on the situation, and no one inside the A site was pressured whatsoever because Sanks was able to mow down 2 coming up connector that, I mean, Abe finds himself in a situation where he's in a 1-on-2 and he doesn't know where the second player is, so he just gets mowed down for free, basically. It's a nice read from compLexity.
And now we sit at the 14th point for compLexity at this point, thankfully saving what could have been a very, very, very bad round for them had it have gone in the way of Threes Up and could have tied this game up, but thankfully coming out on top, they will be able to maintain that lead and may be able to carry it forward a little bit more if they come out on top of this round as well. So Threes Up kind of going back to the old habits here as far as the push is concerned. 3 lined up for a push from T-Ramp and 1 more inside of the palace. You've also got in the back or the top of middle here too. Davey is waiting to see if there's going to be any aggression from compLexity, but the push attempt is going to be already on, as I believe it's been spotted a little bit early here. They go in, the smokes come off, but Threes Up actually is going to find the first frag here. Jason R moves in, the rest of the team follows suit. There's not really a whole lot of resistance coming out for compLexity either, as they did start to move around a little bit just as it started, so Threes Up will control this without too much resistance.
Yeah, they had to play it passively. Once Roka went down, they had to play a retake. Jason R's close up on the right. Semphis able to land 1 shot. Is he ready for Jason R? He isn't. Misses a shot. Jason R drops him down. Valen's an Automatic left in a 2-on-3. Automatic now just finally getting into CT spawn. He's got Jason R to deal with. He's going to spray him down, but he can't get the kill. Jason R and Kiko kill the last 2 simultaneously. That's going to be another round for Threes Up. And that's a beat-up economy from compLexity now. They cannot buy here, so this score is just going to get a little bit closer one more time.
Threes Up looking at a potential 13-14 scoreline here in just a little bit. As you mentioned before, compLexity can't really do too much here, so probably going to see the Gambit play from them again, and that's exactly what will happen, lining all 5 players up on the A site. You're going to swarm this, basically, and they might actually just push right through to T-Ramp, and it looks like what they're pushing for right now, or at the very least getting themselves into a spot to get ready to get a very close range engagement against the push, but for Threes Up, that is going to be a very split-up game from them. They kind of leave themselves in a large amount of 1-versus-1 scenarios here, as everybody's kind of playing their own game at this point, looking to scourge around the map and see exactly what they can find. Abe, in just a few moments here, is going to figure out that there's nothing in middle, and in just a second here too, in fact, if he hasn't already seen it, Davey is going to realize that, again, B is open for the taking here too, so Threes Up may get wise to this and actually take the bomb over to that side anyway, and with Kiko picking up this kill over to Valens, that should confirm the suspicions.
Yeah, every other eco round, Threes Up has gone towards the A bomb site, so compLexity switches up. Instead of gambling at B, they gamble over at A, but I mean, Davey, he has a MAC-10. I'm not sure. The bomb is rotating back towards B, but the rest of the players are still sticking around A because Davey's cleared everything. Even if he had died in that situation all on his own, it's only a MAC-10, so that's not a bad strategy. Abe cleans up 1 over towards the A site. There's only 3 remaining, but they know they're all at A, so they can just easily head over towards a free B bomb site.
Now as they get control of this one for compLexity, just looking for kills at this point, some pop shots maybe that they can grab. Kiko jumps out, sees that they're all there, and ends up moving away from this one, not to take a risk, as you had been talking about earlier. He's only going to hand them over with a gun, but 8 with that nade doesn't actually go where it needs to, so no damage really going on to the players here, but Davey gets a spray out anyway, finds Semphis looking around the site to see if he can find some more, and Roka actually going to be able to pick up one, but the rest of them look like they are going to get shut down here, and Roka is going to be the final one that ends up falling there. 3's up again, cleaned it up, and as we expected, 13 of 14 really made this comeback strong over on the T side now, and are just one round behind compLexity. And compLexity actually is still in a position which would be a little bit of a shaky buy for them, so they might be convinced to try and just go for a double save here, but nope, that won't be the case. They go for the FAMAS buy-up, and we'll just have to see how that pans out for them, as unfortunately that's going to leave them very, very limited indeed, and we can see this now too. Utility-wise, actually, because they went for the FAMAS, you can see 3 players are fully stacked up, but 2 completely missing it at this point.
Yeah, this is a risky buy. They basically, they really need to win this round, or else they're going to be a pretty broken economy going into the last 2 rounds. So winning this round for 3-Sup actually gives them a great opportunity to just win outright 16-14. So very, very aggressive call from compLexity, and 3-Sup playing it very safe right now, playing far back, not letting anyone fall early to any kind of gimmick play. And if they keep up this kind of patient play with 1 minute and 10 seconds, there's only 2 smokes left on compLexity, so they'll run out of things to use to block off these choke points. And this is going to be a fake. This is going to be an A execute fake over towards the B bomb site. Roka's forced to smoke off the molly so he can just survive in closet.
Automatic isn't buying it though, so he, for the time being, is going to be sticking over here and keeping his position, watching out for the push to come in through the apartments now. He'll smoke it off, so I think that may end up being the signal for 3-Sup, and 3-Sup actually working their way through underpass. This might end up being a mid to A takeover after all. Automatic not really wanting to get adventures there. This will give Roka back over on the A site, though. That's going to hand over the first kill into his hands as he takes down Jason R. Ari, though, with a nice response, able to take down Valens. More of them getting their way over here towards the A site now and slowly creeping in, but that timer is getting so low, leaving it down to just 25 seconds left. Automatic keeping himself here, but compLexity has no idea in terms of where this is going to be happening. Sanks unfortunately gets caught out in the open. Roka gets the response and finds a second one here too. Does some nice damage over onto A for the third, but this will leave it into a 2-on-2, and the other 2 from compLexity were either in middle or back over on that B site there. And not only this, but Kiko, along with that bomb plant, is going to be picking up another kill over here on the Semphis. It'll be all in the hands of Automatic. Still a little bit of time to work with, but no kid. I'm not sure if one's on the ground. I would assume there's one somewhere, but I don't think he's really going to have time to actively look for it here. So this combined with the fact that 3-Sup have hidden themselves very well, it looks like this round may be sneaking away for 3-Sup.
Yeah, it should go 3-Sup's way. Oh, and he picks up the AWP. That's maybe the worst weapon. I don't even think he realized he picked up an AWP, and he checks underneath the balcony, but that was where Abe just was, and he moved, and he's able to just slaughter Automatic from behind. That's tough. compLexity was so close there. Semphis actually, I liked that play when he was mollied off in jungle, but he runs partially through it to find the 1-on-1. He catches a 3-Sup player in the open, but just can't win the duel. That would have brought it into a 2-on-1. Either way, they lose it. Now that risky buy, it kind of comes back to bite him in the ass a little bit, so they have to save this round. They have to play for overtime.
3-Sup will indeed be taking the overtime more than likely here. We'll see actually a much more default setup for compLexity, whereas in a lot of these ecos they've actually been playing it pretty aggressively, just going for the full stack on one of the sites and hoping it panned out for them. For 3-Sup, of course, they'll sit back and they go for this passive setup once again. They'll probably stick to this for the first about, 15, 20 seconds or so, just watching out to make sure there isn't any of that aggression coming up middle, but it hasn't been happening so far from compLexity, and it is indeed not going to happen here in this round once more too. Roka, though, is getting a little bit adventurous, as we can see, working his way through to the bottom of T ramp now, trying to see if he can catch anybody from 3-Sup, but that too is being left to the open, as 3-Sup are actually sitting very, very far back right now. The only exception is Abe, who's pushed his way up through middle a little bit.
Yeah, this is very slow and methodical, and this is a 3-Sup team that, it looked a little bit sketchy when they were really confining their attacks to the A site. Hits out of a T spawn was the call, and now that they've slowed things down and they're spreading out and they're feeling out the defense, what's interesting is there's no kind of aggression. I mean, these are just late round executes. There's no kind of aggression early on to try and gain control of the connector. And mid's being given up completely for free, and now Sanks in the ladder room. Arya doesn't clear it out completely, but Sanks gives up his position and can't grab the kill. Now he's going to get chased down by Jason R. Davey also has an entry into the B bomb site. Valens is here. He gives up his position. He's not going to get away with his life, and it's a slaughter. compLexity just collapses completely. 3-Sup now 15-14, and after that atrocious first half, we see just an equally atrocious defense out of compLexity, and 3-Sup on the verge of sealing this one away.
And this will be it here, of course. compLexity still going for the full buy, and they've got, for the most part, everything they need, but the big key thing that's missing at this point is the armor on Semphis, so he's forced to go for a glass cannon opposite up here, and really doesn't have a whole lot of utility to work with either. He is able to get a smoke, but beyond that, Everybody else, thankfully, will still be armed to the teeth, and they've got all their smoke setups and their full nade stacks, everything they need to work with here. But Semphis, again, without that armor, he's going to have to try to find these shots very quickly. Otherwise, it'll be an easy kill for Threes Up to grab. And once again, this attempt from Threes Up now. Semphis actually grabbing the player that was playing towards middle here. And this will hold back the plans by quite a bit. Roka is going to go for this position back under here too. And this should be a signal now, and they should be able to catch on to the fact that this is going to be an A push pretty quickly. A flash going onto Roka, but for some reason Jason R also flashed. He's not able to catch on to this push. Kiko now, he picks up the kill over onto Roka, and they'll try to make their way into the site, but compLexity seem to be holding on well. Valen's with another kill coming up for his team here too. Kiko heavily lit, but getting that spray will be able to take down Valen's, and now as they push their way in, the smokes come out. They're trying to hold it back, but Automatic can still spot him there, jumps up on top of the ticket, finds that kill, and now leaves everything in Aria's hands. He is surrounded, and Semphis ends it with a no-scope to tie things up and take us into overtime for compLexity versus Threes Up.
Yeah, they pull it back there. So that, you know, they bought that round. That was a little bit of a gamble. They lost it. They had to save, and then they have a pretty decent buy in that last round. And because of that, once they got the op, it's like Semphis got his pick. And then no matter what happens, even if those trades come out, they still have a man up, much like we saw earlier on in the half. So compLexity finds some economy there at the end of the half, and they managed to force overtime. But a good second half from Threes Up, and now we go into that MR3 overtime.
And this is definitely going to be interesting to see because, like we said, we've seen these very good T sides from both of our teams now, but the CT side has been lacking. I mean, what were the biggest problems for you looking at the regulation time here that need to be corrected in overtime in order to hopefully allow those rounds to be picked up? Because I think that's going to be the big key here in overtime is seeing which team can pick up more CT sided rounds.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: the defenses have just been bad on this map, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that neither team has been able on the defensive side to stabilize their economy for any stretch throughout the half. So we don't, we've seen both teams when they have the money, they want to have an AWP. It's kind of a linchpin of their defense. We saw probably when Semphis had an op, 100% of CT rounds were won. Maybe they lost one, but he only had it like 2 or 3 rounds. So it's like, that's the thing. You have to have the economy, and if your entire defense collapses when you don't have an op, like that's an issue.
So just apologies. Just waiting for the ready ups to come in for both of our teams, by the way, guys, and we should be jumping into it right after that one here. I'm sure both teams taking a minute here, either to take a piss or to strategize and try to figure out how exactly they want to play overtime here. As again, very, very, very unpredictable matchup as far as the score lines are concerned. We've sort of seen the halves go from it looks like one team is really running away with it to all of a sudden the other team completely swings it back and takes the advantage. And we had that happen in the second half here. It looks like compLexity pretty much had that half in the bag, but Threes Up made it very competitive after that. And not only that, but they managed to bring it up to 15 points and tie it up there very quickly. But compLexity also saving it towards the end of the half by picking up that last round, thankfully. But still, they really had no business losing it considering they were so far ahead to begin with. Just all those problems in the CT side economy left them with so many rounds going into the hands of Threes Up.
It's really interesting to me watching teams in North America play this map. Like these two teams especially, their T sides are so incredibly slow right now. And in Europe, there's slow rounds, but they vary the speed. They pick up the pace. We saw Threes Up do it once and get a pretty much a free kill on connector off of it, but there's really been nothing, no curveballs thrown by either team on their T side. It's pretty static strategies throughout the entire half as terrorists, and it's working.
And here comes Threes Up once again now, going to work actually for a very large amount of mid-presence here. Overall, we didn't see too much of that in the regulation time, but the nades are getting tossed out here, and there's going to be so much of it. Kiko will pick up the kill there, but Semphis with his op gets a response from with inside connector. He's going to be able to take down Abe, so a 1-for-1 trade to start it off. The rest of Threes Up now moving forward, and Sanks is ready from within the ladder room, so he is going to be able to take down Aria, but Kiko also taking him out directly after that, and Kiko got to be a little bit careful there as he's very low at 13 HP and almost went right into that, but Davey also finding another opportunity to get themselves onto the B site, so they've got that pretty much clear. However, this bomb still needs to find a way to get through that window area, and Semphis is ready for that with the op, but thankfully a flash will enable that opportunity to come out. However, this nade going a little bit deep might connect the damage, and indeed it does. It'll take down Kiko, and now they don't have the plant ready to go. Davey, though, is ready over here, and there's no suspicion for it there at all. Semphis not even going to check that angle, so it's a kill to the back for Davey to gain. Now it's only Roka. He gets shut down from the window, and Threes Up will pick up the first round.
Yeah, Semphis getting a little bit too aggressive there, gets picked off, and Davey, he was the aggressor. He gets that entry onto the B bomb site, finds himself a really advanced position. The flashbangs help him cross completely, and that's another nice round from Threes Up. You're exactly right. Just as I mentioned, there's been no curveballs from either of these teams. compLexity does. They switch it up. We didn't see it at all during regulation, but this time they get aggressive in connector, and just a nice nade stack from Threes Up. They read it perfectly, and they just blow up connector. Valen's just drops immediately.
Threes Up go back to the old playbook, though. Again, before lining their way up over here, but at the same time, compLexity try to get aggressive there too, but JSONR finds the first one. Sempus is able to get the correction kill, but now he'll fall back and get himself back over here behind the triple stack, further back on the side, and finds another one there too over onto Aria. Gets another one as he takes down Abe, and Sanks in the process finding Davey. Finally, Kiko taking down Sempus, but now it's just Kiko alive. He's got the bomb, so probably just gonna make a jerk run back over here to the B site and see if he can get the free plant there. But overall, this should be around the compLexity actually managed to steal away and keep things tied up once again.
Yeah, and that's they've got to be 3Sup has got to be kicking themselves to find that opening pick, and Sempus is just so good this half of equalizing. When he has that AWP, we could see it. Even if last round too, they nade stack and they take out Valens, and Sempus equalizes it with the op. So, I mean, when he has this op, they really don't have a great answer for it. He just rains death from afar. And now in a 1-on-3, Kiko's going to try and make his way into this B bomb site. Automatic's over on Catwalk, so he's in a position now where he really can't die. He can spot it, just grab intel for his team, and wait for the rotations and swarm Kiko. And he does spot him there. Kiko's not looking that direction. Automatic just cleans him up with a nice headshot from long range. So 16-16 now.
And this should save again the economy, speaking wise here for compLexity. Still having the off in hand for Sempus, of course, and still looking very good indeed. One gun will have to be dropped over for another teammate, but they're still in a good spot, whereas 3Sup, of course, they too, thankfully due to being on the T side, will still be able to maintain their buy throughout this entire very, very short half indeed. And this will end it here, so we'll see who takes the small advantage coming off of this half. And for 3Sup, they split themselves up once more, trying to go for a little bit more mid-control, but also keeping that A push alive, so really, really favoring A so far. But this aggressive movement from Sanks, he's going to find two there, able to take down Kiko and the transfer on the spray, and able to take down Abe as well. Great play from him, and all of a sudden now 3Sup have been completely stunned away here, and are now down 2 players with no trades to attest for it.
Yeah, a lot of mid pressure from compLexity in this overtime, and it yields good results for them. They're about to win, or they should win, their second round of this overtime in the first half, and that's huge considering the CT sides are the weak sides. And now Roko just jump spotting Davey. He's going to win that duel as Davey tries to slide down the ladder and fight at the same time. That's not going to go too well. JSONR in a 1-on-5. It's looking like it's going to be 17-16 to compLexity. And this is a round. If JSONR pulls off this miracle, that would be absolutely insane.
He's got 45 seconds left, so he'll play it very slowly, but overall not a whole lot of info to work off of here, too, because he's given his opponents a whole lot of time to reposition, and that combined with the fact that there was no other kills that went off. Sempus misses the initial pop shot, but there's going to be an attempt from Roka to find the kill. He takes him out. JSONR moving in to try and find Sempus. He brings him down to 15 HP, but Valens slowly encroaching on this corner, too, and that Molly's going to force Sempus out, so he takes him down. Now JSONR, he's going to look for somebody in connector, but a good response coming out there from Automatic. Finally ends things there, and compLexity will pick up 2 rounds on the CT side there. They'll lead at 17-16 heading into the second half of our first overtime.
Yeah, that's big to have those 2 rounds in your CT half when both teams struggled in their defenses throughout regulation. So this is big now for compLexity. They have a great shot at winning this in the first overtime. And 3Sup's going to have to find something to do, because even their mid pushes in regulation didn't really have any effect. They had some pretty bad mid-round calls that rotated them out of position, but also when they switched things up and tried to push up mid, the trades went in compLexity's favor the 1 or 2 times they did it.
For compLexity now, with the guns in their hands and with them being on the T side, they'll push themselves. The bomb is going to go solo B at this point. There's no reason we couldn't see any more coming in that direction, but he's going to ditch it just in case there's an aggressive push that comes through underpass in hopes of hiding that. But if the plan looks the way it is right now via the mini-map, this could be a 4-man fake to the A site and hope not only that Automatic can maybe win the duel versus Kiko, as Kiko has been absolutely stalwart on his positioning there for the B side. He will actually be getting more support, so this won't be a solo man rush than an attempt to do it, but still, no attempt, really, no hope in my eyes to move Kiko off of that, as Kiko has absolutely been 100% just staying on that B site almost no matter what happens there, and not only is he going to stay there, but Abe picking up that first kill too, and actually Kiko over-reveals himself. Automatic is going to be able to pick up a fairly simplistic kill onto him. Sanks finding another one, and the third was scored previously too, but JSONR, good responses from him, able to eliminate both Roka and Sanks. Thankfully, they've been able to get enough room back over here onto the B-bomb site to plant that, but now we can see here too that Davey and JSONR working against Sempus at this point. Well, I see Davey get a bit aggressive, and this is not what he needs. He needs his teammate in position, but he's here now, and they'll push out. They've caught Sempus out in the open, and they get that dual angle to work against them. And of course, with plenty of time left to get that defuse, we will be seeing 3Sup pick up the first round here on their own CT side.
Smart play from Davey, just so aware there. That fake actually works out pretty well. Some kills go their way over at the A-bomb side. I think the B members might have gone just a little bit too early. They get that kill, and so it kind of gives up the fake as soon as they get that kill. So Davey doesn't rotate from catwalk, and they're not prepared for him to be that close. He's able to get a kill as soon as the bomb goes down, and then Sempus Just with that op and with the restricted mobility inside those halls, he doesn't feel like he can make it happen, has to get aggressive, but Davey doesn't give up the kill. So nice play in that 1-on-2 virtually in that bomb site from Davey.
compLexity again, lining up their push over here, one towards middle, and gonna catch Jason R wide in the open. A great pickup there from Semphis. Jason R very much so over-revealing himself as Semphis kind of races his way to middle. That's a free kill for those guys. Now Davey will seek to challenge Semphis possibly in a minute, but he's not even here anymore. He's fallen back. He's going to regroup with the rest of the team back over towards T-Ramp, as they'll be committing to this A push sometime very, very soon.
Yeah, that's a brutal kill to give up. And look at the minimal map control they have now. Davey just has to spot an angle in mid with this AWP, but only 2 players at this A bomb site. The rotations are far, far away, so these two, Abe and Arya, have to make huge work of this hit. And there's a blind member, Abe. He gets the headshot, but automatic drops him immediately in response. And now Arya, he's just got to hope they don't clear out this corner. compLexity being so patiently, he swings out, but he can't get that kill either. So compLexity now is a free A bomb site. theScore has to save.
And they'll fall back from this one now. Kiko and Davey will be the last two alive. Davey looking for those exits, and it's so unfortunate, too, when you look at just how low Automatic, Sanks, and technically even Roka have been reduced down to. So close to picking up those kills 2 times in a row, but it just doesn't pan out. And unless we see them getting aggressive, which obviously is not going to happen, as they're way on the run inside of the apartments right now, all 5 players from compLexity should keep themselves alive at the end of this round, and that'll be a big save for them.
Yeah, the big save as well as the AWP in the hands of Davey. He doesn't want to lose that. They have plenty of money behind it, but they're going to need to drop some guns. Arya's low. He only has $100 from buying an op 2 rounds. Abe's only got $2,500, so they're going to drop him a gun so he can get utility. So behind, after all that's said and done, they really don't have a lot of money to play with, so this op is actually crucial.
And this will be match point as well now with compLexity.
Oh, he almost lost it at the end. Valen's almost caught him out there. I'm actually surprised that compLexity didn't do a little bit more hunting that round, because they have a lot of money. They could have rebought everything this round, even losing weaponry. So I'm surprised that they didn't put more pressure on trying to take out those last 2 players.
But this will once again be match point here. compLexity just one more away from taking the victory here in the first overtime against 3SUP. A little bit of trouble, of course, on their CT side in the regulation rounds, but now bringing it back not only on the CT side here in the first overtime half, but on the T side on the second half, looking like they might just be able to swing this victory into their favor, only 1 round away.
We saw this in regulation as well. compLexity, 4 members just dedicated to B. Kiko's going to play behind the smoke over towards the chair and the lamp. He's just going to chill for a little bit. And are they going to clear him out? Roka's not. He gets dropped immediately, but Kiko's blind behind this, but he's done so much delay. The rotations are going to start coming in. Davey's on catwalk ready to go. And he's going to spray one down. He finally grabs it in the end, and there's Jason R in the bomb site. They're stalling this attack out. Baylor's with a nice shot. Cleans him out, so down to a 3-on-3. Oh, look at this lurk as well from Automatic.
Automatic in a very good position here, but not going to encroach upon it just as of yet. And actually, he picks up the kill there, too. Takes down Arya, so he's been revealed, and he goes for the long rotate back over here to Cat, too. That'll put him right behind Davey, unless he expects that to come. And not only this, but Davey actually can't come out to challenge this just as of yet. Abe, though, will be able to pick out Semphis, but again, the big player is Automatic, already sneaking up behind him in just a second. But that flash actually over-reveals himself a bit early. Thankfully, Valen's picking up Abe, and now Davey. You can see him nervously looking around, trying to keep himself alive, but won't be possible. And compLexity are going to be able to close it out there, and they will win the match with 19 rounds in their favor, ending it in the first overtime.
Oh, heartbreaking for 3SUP. It was. It came down to that flank from Automatic. That was a huge play. He was kind of their insurance policy on that round. So he cleans him up. 3SUP ends up falling in overtime. Nice comeback in the second half, though. You have to say that after that beatdown in the first half, for them to like bring themselves together and really fight back on the T side of Mirage, that was cool to see. But compLexity just wins it out.
Yep, and those big 2 rounds being picked up on their own CT side in the first half of overtime, too, pretty much solidified it. That was the problem for both teams, so they steal it there. But that will end our second match of the day, guys. compLexity does have another one coming up right now, though, so stick around, and we'll be back with just a few moments, or in just a few moments, for their game versus Conquest here at the ESL ESEA Pro League.